Uno, dos, tres, vámonos!
Swing into action.
Monkey swing!
I grew up watching Dora, and I'm curious. Why after 25 years we're still talking about Dora? Why Dora is still important? Because now the kids of those kids like me that watch Dora 25 years, they're still watching Dora. So it's generational now. So why? And I love that I have different generations here. And I have the first Dora, I have the abuela, and I have the new Diego. And I'm super curious individually, what do you think the Dora is still relevant after 25 years?
I think that Dora is so inclusive, and I think that everyone has a spot when they watch Dora, and they can see themselves in one character, in all the characters, and it really, in the old show, in the new show, it's the same. It's like you can find yourself and you can learn new things. You're like represented, and it's like that's why it keeps going, because you're learning new things, you're finding yourself in the show, and anybody can watch it. Adults, kids, new kids.
Kathleen, what do you think? You are the first Dora.
Yes, I can't believe it's been 25 years, but I mean, we've been talking about, especially in the last interview, we talked about kind of what you asked, and you know, talking about people who grew up with the show, loved it so much, and now want to share it with their kids and, you know, the little ones in their families. And it's just so special to be a part of that. And I think the core of the show hasn't changed. There's new CGI, there's new adventures, there's new music, but what Dora represents hasn't changed. And I think people can see that and people relate to that. And they love it. And Maria has also touched on some, you know, traditional things that the show really embraces, and I really love that aspect of it as well. And I can't wait to see it continue for another 25 years.
Yeah, I love how she asks questions of the audience and isn't embarrassed or afraid to be a curious person. And I think that emboldens and gives kids that don't necessarily have the confidence to ask a question out of fear of being judged. It's a subtle way of inspiring little kids. Her personality, that curious personality she has, the fact that she's such a loyal friend and a loving person and granddaughter to my character, she's just a lovely example. And she's not put in a box in any way. As a girl, she's not put in a box. She's an adventurer, an explorer, and she's not just, you know, looking cute. She happens to be cute as well, but that's not all she is as a little girl, you know? So she's not put in a box as a Latin American person. She's proud of all the different countries of origin that are in her background and in her family. She speaks Spanish and she welcomes others to do so. And if they don't say it perfectly, that's fine. There is an openness to experiment and a welcoming personality about her that I think is contagious, and that's why everybody still loves her, and our kids' kids will be showing it to their kids, because I think she has that special combination of qualities that we all aspire to. And the music's great, and the animation is beautiful with the CGI, like Kathleen mentioned, and the language, and I think it's just a beautiful Dora universe that we all get to be part of. It doesn't surprise me that it's lasted 25 years.
Because for me, the world that we had in 2002, 2003 is not the same world that we have now. And it's not the same people, because back then we didn't have the exposure with social media. We didn't have so many things back then that we have now. And I remember as Dora, as this kind of first character, they opened Spanish to English people. And they found it weird, and they learned Spanish. And I wonder if you have like a remote idea how important cultural is Dora, not just in America, outside America, from people that learn English with Dora.
Yeah, it's dubbed in 32 countries, I think. And I've watched Dora that they show in France, and it's so funny seeing her speak in French, teaching English. And it's just like, yeah, it's so
Bonjour,
cute.
good morning.
You know, like a little Latina girl, like speaking French and teaching English. But I've heard so many stories of people, specifically from Mexico, that they would say that they grew up watching Dora teaching English, and they would watch Dora there. And then when they would move to the States, they switched and started watching Dora in English, teaching Spanish to help them with their English.
Oh, that's great.
So I thought that was so
Yeah.
cool.
I'm from the Dominican Republic, and I can tell you that's true.
Yeah.
Because many kids back then, I mean, 2002, 2003, right post 9/11, like we don't know what will happen. And I can tell you that many of my I don't know friends, kids back then, they put Dora to learn English, not to learn Spanish. And that's the beauty thing about this, because Dora is just probably the first character that make the transition in TV, because now we have streaming, but back then in TV, Americans could learn Spanish and foreigners can learn English. And I think we don't talk enough about how important is this character for cultural purposes.
That's a great point, because for so long it was separated. It was a separate thing. And ironically, so many of us in America are both.
Mm-hmm.
We're bilingual. So I remember many years ago, a show called Que Pasa USA did it in a live action way. But you're right. This is the first time an animated show that I can remember incorporated all of who so many Latin American people are, and that we speak both languages in such a fluid, inclusive way. And hearing what an impact it had on you growing up in the Dominican Republic is very cool to hear.
Yeah, Maria, Kathleen, Kai, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful day.